real. It's just something extra, kind of in the same way Enigma's Black Hole, for example, can completely change a game with one good usage, but you don't just pick him for that. He has so much more going for him that regardless of if you hit a black hole or not, and many times we'll see teams maybe throw one or two in a 40-50 minute game, just so long as they do connect. So where do you go right now? I mean, in terms of heroes he does naturally match well with, you're not going to, there you go, question answered, got to be Sven. Love the Sven pickup though with IO. It's great to be able to pop your ulti and pop your ulti before you relocate. Then when you land, you just throw the stun and you can get on someone in a hurry and chop them down quick.
It's hard because typically it's a melee hero that does get paired up with the IO. It just works better that way. You want to pair him up and get the full effect out of the what's the buff? The overcharge ability. But I feel like Sven's gonna get kited quite easily here. Pre-BKB, every single one of these abilities from all of these heroes on Team Tinker stop him. Like the Searing Chains, the Fire Blast, the Ignite will slow him down, Skywrath's abilities will slow him down and silence, and Tidehunter will slow him down, still do damage with the physical damage Anchor Smash, and then stop him with Ravage. So pre-BKB, Sven is like completely controlled, unless it's of course with pickoffs or if Sneaky Nyx has a very, very good time in the laning phase. And then post-BKB, he doesn't get buffed up by IO, so it's kind of an awkward situation here for Stan. I think if Team Tinkerino shut down the Sven early, they just win the game. I don't think that Sna can come back into this with their draft because Sven is a pure one. Like, he is their carry.
Right.
So we'll have to see. I definitely favor Team Tinker's lineup so far, and that's just with 4 heroes that I'm seeing.
Oh, I completely agree with you. With the Sven IO, like, you look at it and you can identify how it should work and how you want it to work and how good it'll be if it does work the way you anticipate it will. But all the reasons you just named, basically, outside of the Sven, like, there's not a hero that's just going to take the game over on outside of him. Like you said, a pure one, like, to be getting all of the attention, he's going to be getting all of the farm priority. Whereas with Tinker, I mean, you see a Tidehunter. How many times have we seen overfarmed Tidehunters, and outside of the value of Ravage, just be monsters in terms of items, in terms of really helping your squad out with items like mech, items like pipe, whatever else you might need, a Shiva's even, which will be very effective against the Sven in general. And then you have a Skywrath, and on down the line, Ember Spirit, if he gets overfarmed, he can just go crazy, take a game over and deal with a Sven pretty well. Anti-Mage, same thing. What if he gets overfarmed, gets too far ahead, gets up about a butterfly early, and suddenly Sven is forced already to have to think about things like MKB just to be able to fight. And the Skywrath, again, another hero that just can output damage, can blow heroes off the map in a hurry, and can really punish you if you allow him too much leeway. So we're going to jump on in. And yeah, it's good to be back on the mic. We had a little bit of time off. There is a quick pause. And
very sorry again.
The time
ancient this way to make
that going on Tuesday, but don't overlook this one. Once again, this is a very important match for everyone involved, and I really want to see if NYX can pull it out. Not to say I'm rooting for them necessarily, but we've seen NYX look really good at times, and they certainly have talent on their team. I mean, there's no denying, especially like TC. I feel like TC kind of gets a bum rap sometimes. He's not given as much credit as I think he should get for what he was able to do in the past and the value he brings to a team as a one position. I mean, he's just excellent at what he does, and whenever he's in his groove, he's just a rock, man. Like, he is a known variable that is going to perform well most of the time. So much of it, though, it has come down to, I think, in the past, just outdrafts. I mean, how many times have we looked at a draft from NYX and been like, we know they can make this work in one way.
Frankly, just
him cutesy using his bad right. And we saw Mike do this the other day, too, out in the offlane. Just cut himself down into the trees, and he'll just sit here for a while and just soak as much free XP as he can.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that maybe he just fears that this combination is so strong that even if he does get a decent block, he can't get much. And I agree, like, this Skywrath Ogre is pretty damn strong.
Oh, yeah.
But at the very least, it kind of sucks that he can't spot out the rune. Even if you can't block, or you can't lane, or if you can't contest the rune yourself, I think it's always effective to just spot it out. Because if you see, like, that there's an invis, for example, then you know that you need to play back a little bit in your lanes. And without that kind of information, it could be very easy first bloods with heroes like Skywrath and Ogre on the board.
Mm-hmm. Especially against the Bat. Bat gets away with being out in the off lane because all he needs is level 2, level 3, and go into the jungle, so he doesn't have to play super greedy. And, you know, Firefly is just an effective method of getting out of trouble the vast majority of the time. But whenever you have to deal with a very quick single target stun followed by, and we'll see where Bulba ends up putting his first point, but if he does put it into the Ancient Seal, now you have to deal with being stunned out of nowhere and getting silenced so you can't Firefly unless you're very, very quick and recognizing that you're under threat. So it's just definitely a chancy lane. And Mike, yeah, is just going to hang. And look, I mean, it's working. He's getting XP. Yeah. And this is only once. At level 2, level 3, he'll head on into the jungle and be quite happy. And we can already see Fluff helping him out, getting the stack on.
He could probably pop in there now and just Firefly and do some attacks. Like, he should probably know that the supports are either pulling or doing something else. So EGM's actually walking all the way through the jungle. It did not get... Okay, it did get stacked, but it actually was mud golems. It's kind of... That's really annoying. So, not the best stacking early on. There is a bottle here for the Wisp. Has that now to work with. Ogre, he's walked all the way up top here. Maybe to look for a kill onto Whitebeard, playing the Ancient Apparition, but it's not going to work. It's kind of a wasted rotation here from EGM. Just trying to get something done. I think he is spotted by this defensive ward from NYX. Yeah, he definitely is. And they should know that something's up. And he can't really gank Brax mid because he's a Puck. Although Puck versus Ember Spirit, it is kind of nice having the Searing Chains. Oh, and I missed that, but Arise gets taken up top.
I actually missed it as well. That's the kind of thing. It's tough whenever it's a tie down in the off lane because he tends to play a little far forward, but first blood tallied, and that'll be a quick lead for NYX. And these first couple of minutes are really favoring NYX, like you said. EGM's rotation, not only did it not accomplish anything and waste his own time, but it freed this bottom lane up for Mike, and Mike is level 2.5 already, just being able to come out, got even a few CS to his name.
Yeah, he's going to the jungle, but he's got no stacks working for him, so it's going to be very, very slow jungling for him. But yeah, I mean, they got the first blood. That's really, really important. It was on TC as well, so that's a hero you really need and want to snowball for your team. So good start here for NYX. Like I said, they definitely have to do very, very well out of the laning phase. Puck, despite the fact that you can't really phase shift after the Searing Bolus hits you, it is a decent matchup for him. He can pump out a lot of damage onto the Ember Spirit, and he's actually losing in CS, though.
Stormhammer top. Arise in trouble again, and they got him. TC is so strong with the power of Chilling Touch. Whitebeard tossing it, and wow, they actually just got a gank in mid as well. So, we see one get on the board for Team Tinker. However, it is 2-1, still favoring NYX, and as you mentioned, that's 2 kills now. Actually, he got the assist, but TC off to a great start, and that's something that TT's going to have to shore up real quickly. They cannot allow their tide to keep feeding like this, and we can see, I mean, he's level 2, so it's not the end of the world, but he needs to get something working sometime soon.
I think that Team Tinker's just totally fine with this. Like, mid is actually getting dominated. 19-2 CS compared to 13-2. He was already doing better than the Puck before the gank, so that's not too good. It's not the easiest lane for Puck, but I think it should be relatively even as far as CS is concerned. And then bottom lane, the anti-mage is just completely free-farming, has the same CS as the Sven. Doesn't have the 2 kills, but I think this is a lineup that will definitely go late against Team NYX Assassins.
Yep. There's definitely a window that NYX has to hit, and it's not that, it is not a very wide window. Like, I'm just to echo what you had said previously, this is a game they're going to want to close out between 30 and 40 minutes. Like, they are not, and even that might be getting a little chancy if they have a free-farming anti-mage on the other side. Like, they don't want to see this go long. They want to have total map control by 25 or 30 and to be starting to strangle them out. But Sing Sing, as you mentioned, off to a fantastic start. He's practically free farming. He's right on par with Pycat, who leads in CS at 25. He's got 16 denies as well. Mike, and did make his way into the jungle. But for right now, I guess the only concern, I don't know, Tide's now level 3. I mean, he's getting there.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He at the very least is making the support stay in lane, so they can't really do too much stacking, which is a big deal because the Batriders, like I said, he went into the jungle. He was level 2.5 when he went. He's barely level 3. So his jungle farming was very, very slow as a result, and I expected this just because there was no stacking really going on. And that is an indirect result.
Dive on a Brax under his own tier 1, and Bulba in a great position. Easy kill. Made it look so easy. Power of Ancient Seal, and he snuck in through the back, got the silence off, and well done as Team Tinker knots it up 2-2. But even though it's set, even though it's knotted up, talking all these things out, I definitely think Team Tinker is beginning to inch out a little bit of a lead here early on.
Yeah, and well, absolutely. And Pycat free farming, he's going to go for a straight Battle Fury, it looks like, which I think Treads is, in my opinion, always a little bit stronger. But they're going to do this again on Brex.
Yeah,
But they
why
have their
wouldn't
combo up. Oh, he knows it too. That was a
He's-
very, very weird ulti there by Sing Sing. The Remnant did not hit at all.
Oh, he still
also
got
misses the
silenced.
steering change. Still gets silenced. Lots of damage though.
And Brax trying to phase shift and buy time. He is buying a fair amount of time, but there's not a whole lot of help coming. Fluff's there, but all he's doing is helping keep him alive. Throws it. He actually jaunts into the trees. They're going to know that, too. No, he actually eats his way out. EGM doesn't have the mana to follow up, so a good rotation from Fluff keeps him up and alive. And I'm shocked, actually, that he managed to survive there, and Brax still not feeling safe. Going to jaunt all the way back to the house. So they tried to make it happen twice in a row. 6-minute rune will be a DD picked up by Sing Sing, and let's see if they want to go get cute with this.
Oh,
Yep.
Mike. He TP's in the face of Pycat. He blinks away. Sing Sing gets credit for the kill. Yeah, that kill on Puck should have happened. I think Sing Sing totally missed his Remnant, like opposite direction, and then missed his Searing Chains as well.
Mm-hmm.
But nice rotation there from Pycat to give the vision. He was standing on top of a war that's about to fade too, so he wasn't going anywhere.
Yep. Well, 3-2. Team Tinker looking good. It's early. Usually don't want to take a look until about 10 minutes in, but we're going to nonetheless. And yeah, this is about what you would expect. You can see that TC and company, NYX Assassins, were slightly leading for a bit, but now the biggest lead of the game is about 2,200 gold in favor of Team Tinker, and it's 3-2. And that NYX did get the first blood, so this is almost all efficiency. You know, you've got one extra kill, but they're just winning their lane so hard from a mechanical point of view that the kills don't matter nearly as much. Arise is going to be spotted by Whitebeard as he's trying to stack these Ancients, but I think at this point, Team Tinker can start to feel free to get a little bit more aggressive if they want. Obviously, they want to get their tide to 6. I think that's really what it's going to be, though. If they can get him to 6, and yeah, they're even rotating him into mid to catch him up. Once Ravage is available, they're going to be able to just make things happen across the map and free the Anti-Mage up to free farm and to split push. And he is going Battle Fury, and he is not far from it at all. You're talking a very quick Battle Fury, even skipping brown boots at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be probably around 10 minutes or less in the top lane.
TC,
this cannot happen.
Nope. And that's devastating. There's going to be a 3-man coil. The follow-up's not there. They're going to get Whitebeard. So they hung around, and it ends up being a double kill for Bulba. And Brax, I mean, he did what he could. Whitebeard should have just cleared out as soon as he saw the dive was coming. And this is that aggressive potential we were talking about. And, you know, leading into the match, he even talked about, you know, a Skywrath mage pick, for example. Yes, it's a support, but he's 2-0-1. He gets a couple more kills under his belt. Maybe gets up one nice big item. And Sing Sing gets a kill again on Brax. So this early game is completely unraveled in front of NYX. Looked like it was going to be promising, but right now it's all Team Tinker, and they are blowing this gold graph up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, in the laning phase, Puck versus Ember, at least before 6 and before runes come out and things like that, I think Puck could do okay with getting last hits and harassing a lot. IX Mike is in some trouble.
Yep, he's going to end up into a mana void. Oh, no! Makes it away. He's got to keep going. Firefly in 1 second, doesn't matter. Blinking auto attack. Mana Void, not quite enough to have finished him off, but that's going to be a kill for Pycat. I mean, just look at this. 3-0 on Sing Sing, 2-0 on Bulba, 1-0 on EGM, 1-0 on Pycat. And I don't even know what they do, because this is not a flexible lineup, as we talked about. It's very one-dimensional. You farm TC, and you hope you don't lose, and you hope you can win about 20 minutes from now. And Whitebeard's dead. He's going to be caught by Sing Sing again. Poor guy, as EGM leads off with the Fire Blast, and yeah, didn't even try to run.
Yeah, this is actually almost getting out of complete control for NYX. I don't know much more that they can do, especially when their jungle's being taken over. Like when they're taking over their jungle and they haven't even taken their own defensive tier 1 tower. So
Yep.
Where does Bat farm? He can't go bottom. He's already dying. He didn't have stacks to work with at the beginning anyway. Anti-Mage has a 9-minute Battle Fury. I don't know how NYX can get out of this, but I also don't know why they think they could have done this in the first place. I feel like the lineup was, as you mentioned, so one-dimensional that if they didn't hit that one timing with Sven just going crazy and Puck getting a Blink Dagger and early Blink on Bat, then they just lose. And yeah, I don't know what openings they have. Hail Mary plays from a Puck that can maybe buy a Blink Dagger, but he's like 1,800 gold away.
Yep. Hail Mary's probably the appropriate word. They have got to figure something out. because as it is, this is not going to work. And like you said, I mean, right now they're tucked up under their own tier 1, but how long is that going to last when Sing Sing is so farmed and so far ahead, he's just going to get a free kill. He does prompt a TPN, but he still hasn't given up the pursuit. Behind that, we can see Mike's rotating up. EGM may have gotten eyes on him. Bulba hanging around. Sing Sing deciding to pull back. But they're just continuing to harry this lane. And Mike, his Firefly, yeah, just expired and he's dead. He can lasso Sing Sing. No, he can't. EGM's there. And EGM secures the kill. So Mike at this point has been in the jungle for 7 minutes on and off. He's still sitting on brown boots and 1,500 gold, so he's getting close-ish to his blink. But you can't have this. I mean, there's only so many ways we can say the same thing. This is just not what they're allowed to do with this composition. They can't give up this much ground and expect to have any success.
Well, and adding insult to injury, too. Like, this is a Batrider game where I don't even think you can get much with the blink. I think you have to have blink and Force Staff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get gushed while you slowly pull them away. You're going to get concussive shot. You're going to get searing changed. You're going to get stunned by the ogre. There's so many spells to stop you in the midst of a slow lasso with brown boots away. You have to have the Force Staff. So I don't even think Blink is going to save him or do anything for their team.
This is bad. They've got a Ravage ready to go. Arise is going to hang on to it. And nope, he'll go ahead and spin it just to make sure TC remains chain stunned. He's going to get off a Stormhammer, but doesn't matter. That's a killing spree for Bulba. He's 3-0-2. Has an urn and some brown boots, and he'll be able to go on up to Arcs if he chooses to do so afterwards. But that's another death for TC. That makes that his second. He got the 1 kill to start things off, but yeah. And this whole time, like, and you know this is what I was talking about as well. I mean, Pycat has been completely untouched. He has gotten 0 attention. He's sitting down at bottom. He's 101 CS at 12 minutes, man. Like, he is so, call him Monsanto, man. Like, he controls the farm. And
12 minutes, yeah.
I mean, he's just so now treads. He's got treads, Battle Fury at 12 minutes in. That's ridiculous.
Now, one of the faster times I've seen, but oh, Sing Sing gets hit by an Ice Blast. Could fall here. Here comes Pycat, though. He should ulti that fluff and stuff. He's thinking about it. Yep.
Sing Sing still alive. Gonna get the searing chains off. Brax is dead. Bulba on point with the Mystic Flare, and Fluff will be able to make it away to safety, but. No matter what they do, that looked like it was going to be a sure thing. It was a well-placed Ice Blast from Whitebeard, but follow-up not there, and Pycat in the right place at the right time helps his buddy out.
I actually think this game is completely over. I don't think that there's a single thing that NYX can do, and for the main reason, like I said, if they're probably just waiting, like, oh, we'll fight with Bat when he gets Blink, and then we'll maybe see if we should call it. But again, I don't think Bat with Blink is that effective this game. I think you have to have Force Staff.
Yeah.
So, like, for the reasons I stated before, and I don't think he's going to be that effective. I think they'll see that when they try to go for a gank too. But not to mention as well, when you're down this much of action on Brax, he's already used his orb. He's dead again. He actually gets a nice silence, and a coil. He should still die though.
Yep. Doing everything he can. Oh, it burns just a little bit. Only a little bit more. Whitebeard turns it around. Wants to try to get the kill on the Sing Sing, however. Sing Sing's just so tanky already, man. He's had drums up forever. Finally, Mike has finished his Blink Dagger. But I mean, everyone, like, you just look through the inventories. I mean, Tide has almost got a Blink now. Like, Tide's Blink's only going to come out a couple of minutes later than the Batrider's. Like, that's just, and he gave up a few deaths early, was really zoned out of lane quite effectively. Poor man's drums and phase is already done on Sing Sing, and once again, I mean, Pycat has got 1,800 gold at 14 minutes ago with his Battle Fury treads. Like, I don't even know, like, he is already hitting critical mass. He's going to be able to, like, 1v3 soon. Ice Blast does connect following the lasso, so there's the first pick and the reveal of Mike's Blink Dagger in mid, but it's a small step. Let's hope they can build on it.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty good. That's better than I thought they would get. The vision from Team Tinker wasn't that great, actually. They just placed a ward in mid now, which isn't even giving you that much information. Doesn't see TPs from the mid lane as well. Put a counter ward actually just as the ward was placed by NYX. I wonder if they see that or notice that, but now their vision is starting to get a little bit better. Yeah, they do. They just placed that. Sneaky NYX Assassins too. That's gotta hurt.
Let's take a look at TC. And TC's gone with the yard sale build. He's picked up an Ogre Club as we anticipated on his way to BKB, but he also has a Sange now as well.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm leaving it to you to break that down. I have no idea.
I've seen Kuroki do this a lot actually on Team Secret, where he just wants to tank up. Like, he builds the Sange and then a BKB just to get really, really big with lots of HP and decent damage. I don't really know the other reason to buy it. I don't think he's buying it for the MAME effect. I don't think he's going to build it into a Sanjin Yasha. So I think it's just for raw HP.
Seems very chancy, though. I mean, given how the game's gone, I mean, in terms of his own personal farm, CS-wise, it's not the end of the world. I mean, he's at least somewhere near where you would expect. I mean, you can't anticipate that Pycat's going to have 150 CS at 15 minutes in. I mean, that's just ludicrous. That's preposterous numbers he's turning out right now. But, I mean, for himself, he's in okay shape. He's just going to have to start to fight so soon. Like, they're just going to lose all of their map control in the next 5 to 8 minutes if they're not careful.
Yep, and then the blink on Tide, as you've mentioned, it's now up with 1 point into Gush as well, which is a very big value point, I must say. 40% slow right off the bat. And here we go, smoked up, looking for blood. Oh, he couldn't find the Ravage.
Yep, thought about it. Sorry, but yeah, this is where they start to choke it out. And Pycat's even farming their jungle right now. And Mike's doing nothing but sitting in lane at bottom trying to cut creeps and get something done to bring the tower down, but just so little. And just look at this. They're moving as a team now up towards the tier 1.
Yeah, this anti-mage is ridiculously farmed. Like, it's actually insane how farmed he is. He's 3 times as farmed as the Bat Rider, who's the 2nd highest net worth on the Sneaky NYX Assassins.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're going to take the tier 1 top at bottom. Looks like it'll be a trade. There's a glyph, actually, and Sing Sing's there, so no, they're not even going to get the trade. I think they could just walk down lanes at this point. Like, I don't like, if you put Pycat at the front, let him farm the lanes, and just walk at them, and just be quick with the Blink Ravage if someone ends up getting lassoed. I don't know how NYX fights. I really don't.
Yeah, Whitebeard is just sitting up here. Just looking for a good direction to cast the Ice Blast. I mean, he will get... They'll have a good idea about where he is when he casts it, so he has to TP out afterwards, but... Okay, alright. Being a little bit interesting about his positioning. But yeah, Sing Sing down bottom.
Brax is dead.
Yep.
Just like that. Ancient Seal's pretty good counter to Puck, and especially when Pycat's hitting this hard. He finished the Vlads just moments ago, and he's already got another 3,300 gold. Like, he could literally start going butterfly and probably have it by 20-some minutes. Like, if he has that, and I understand there are other things he might want to BKB, whatever, but there's no damage. Like, they can't kill him. Like, if Sven can't hit him, they cannot kill him. And down at bottom, Mike looked like he wanted to try to get a lasso onto Sing Sing. It looks like he's going to pay for it. EGM's there. And yeah, that didn't work out. Not quite as Mike had in mind, I think.
Yeah, that's not exactly a lasso target you want when you're going for a solo kill on Bat. You definitely need... Maybe he was expecting a relocate? That had to have been it. I mean, why else would he go for him solo? So maybe the relocate just wasn't off cooldown yet for Fluff, or he just wasn't paying attention. I don't know, but miscommunication there.
Brax once again to the target. We see him pinged out. And EGM, Fire Blast, follow up from Sing Sing, and he does manage to phase shift, but nowhere to go. As Sing Sing once again tallies a kill, and oh wow, comes right into a Ravage. What were they thinking? Poorly timed relocate. They may get a return. TC doing what damage he can, but he just has nothing in the tank. Everyone's so tanky and so big. And I don't know if they didn't know the Tide was there, if they thought they were just going to... I mean, the lasso was on cooldown. We saw it used. I mean, I don't know if it was miscommunication or what. But yeah, they just basically set up a free Ravage for a Rise, and they end up losing everyone. Make it 18-3.
I mean, they were just very slow. Like, I imagine that was Puck saying, yo, come kill, we can turn this. But he probably told them too late, and then because they're panicking because, you know, they're getting completely destroyed this game, they just went with it anyway. That's like the 5th time I've seen, I think Puck has just been using these orbs way too aggressively and not backing himself up when he doesn't know where the enemy team is. Yeah. Because you can't do that. It's just, especially when you have poor vision or they have so many different ways to catch you out. As a result, he's actually 0, 7, and 0 on Puck. Yeah. That is not the score you want, but I mean, I gotta give NYX credit for playing this one out because I actually put 99.99999% that they lose this, that they do not win this game.
Barring a carbon monoxide leak in the land center, I'm pretty sure you can give it you can make it an integer, man. Like, assuming that they continue to play the way that they have so far. There's zero chance. And Mike's dead again. And I'm just going to watch Sing because he's like, I mean, he's got 8 kills in 20 minutes. And EGM, Haste, gets eyes on Brax, had vision him because of the ward. Brax going to be forced to run away again. Actually gets caught with the Yules. And is he just going to solo kill him? Like, it looked like I'm surprised he backed off there. He could have just sold out there, and he might have gotten a solo kill because there was no mana left for Brax after he threw the coils. So, yeah, whenever your Ogre Magi is going one-on-one with your puck at 20 minutes and scaring you all the way back to the fountain, usually a good indication the game got away from you a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and sans the Sven, every single member of Team Tinker is more farmed than the members of NYX.
Yep.
And TC, speaking of him, actually gets Searing Chains here. Has a BKB ready to go. This might be his chance to try to do something. Doesn't pop the BKB, though.
Nope.
And as a result, he just gets destroyed.
And here's EGM waiting patiently on our good friend Fluff. Well, let's say hello. That's the Sing. You know, they're buddies that way. Down he goes, 21-3. And that's a killing spree for Pycat, as he just secured another kill at bottom while we were watching. Yep, there it is. Good game, well played. I don't think that comes as a shock to anyone whatsoever. An utter trouncing, an absolute rout, as Team Tinker finishes off NYX Assassin sub 25 minutes. And I think we said about all we needed to say. One-dimensional lineup did not at all realize it's one dimension. And Team Tinker takes advantage and rolls right over top of them. 5-0 for Bulba.